Welcome to the first ever episode of Table Football Monthly.
Yay!
Table Football Monthly. On the ball from Caston to Sabu. Table Football Monthly. Pick the team 'cause we're set up and we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go.
Still got it, eh? Sex, drugs and rock and roll.
No, we really haven't. We filmed that last Monday for a bit of a laugh. And then on Thursday night, I was doing a 2-hour gig with Nikki, our art director here. So the only drugs in my bag, mate, Voltarol. Honestly, I've got
Keeps
a
you
real
moving,
shoulder. Oh, tell you what, I'm feeling old.
You are.
Now, on that very subject, we guarantee you a solemn promise that we are not going to sit here for the next half hour like two old cackers rabbiting on about table football. Are we, Smithy?
Speak for yourself, son.
No, we are not. Because we have oodles of stuff for you. I should quickly apologise if there's any background noise. You'll know in recent weeks it has been baking. So we've left the door a little bit open so we can get a breeze. So if you do hear any weird stuff in the background, sorry about that. Right, yeah, as I said, we have oodles of stuff. Danielle's got a news roundup for us in a minute. We have our big match where we recreate goals from a big game from yesteryear. We've got an interview with Bernard O'Connor. He's going to be talking about how it was joining a local Sabu Cho club. We've got our product review, which this month is quite a jolly one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, quite a jolly one. But also, we have each month our Sabu Cho challenge. And I hope you'll stay with us and watch it.
On the training ground of dreams, I believe.
Training ground of dreams.
Training
Like
ground
a
of
poet.
dreams.
It's like sitting with a poet.
It is, and I don't know it.
If you watch that and you fancy having a go at it, at the end of our 10-month run, whoever is top of our table, the highest point scorer, will win
£100
to spend at Sabu Cho World. We're not skinflints, are
No,
we?
not at all.
Give.
Yeah.
That's us.
No,
and in addition, there's more. You get free copies of our two-part DVD on the history of table football.
Signed.
And all this for free.
Yeah.
What are we like? It's like living with two
It is.
Santas, isn't it?
Of course.
Right, without any further ado, we are going to join our tambourine shaking, hip swinging goddess of rock,
Dave.
Danielle, for the news.
Hello, welcome to my corner of the studio. As this is the first news roundup of the series, we're a little light on content, but hopefully that's something you'll be able to help me with. In our August edition, we hope to have Bob Fairbrother in as our guest. He'll be talking to us about the new National Sabu Cho League. They've just started their second season, as well as running the Bristol Sabu Cho Club. So if you run a club and you would like results and updates featured on our programme, then you can contact me via email on our website below. Do get in touch. I'd love it if we could get a full national roundup of club news as a regular feature on the programme. Finally, some new product news. We all know about the importance of a smooth, flat and predictable pitch, whichever type of table football you play. Well, in the world of Sabu Cho, we have a new innovation. Striped pitches! First up, the new Sabu Cho striped cotton pitch costing £27. And here, a new plastic back pitch from Pegasus, costing £56. We'll be testing both pitches next month. How cool is that? That's it from me, and I'll see you next month.
Thanks, Danielle. Well, as Danielle so eloquently mentioned, if you've got time... Sorry, that was immature. If you've got time to share the details of your Sabu Cho club with us, it would be really fantastic, because we'd love it if we could get a national database of who's doing what and where. Now, obviously, as a Table Football Monthly programme, the focus is largely going to be on Sabu Cho. After all, it is the most played game in the world and one of the longest standing.
And the best.
You heard it here from our short international man of mystery. Yeah, that's true. But each month we're going to go back to other table football games created post-war to now to see what else was on offer. Some of them I'm sure you'll have played before. Some of them you might have forgotten all about, some you may never have seen. Today, I don't think that's going to be the case because we're going to be looking at one of the really good ones. This game came out in the late 60s and was particularly big during the 70s. The game was created by Tom Waterman and it's called 424. Did you ever play it?
Heard of it, never played it.
You were in for a treat.
Okay.
I really like this game, so we're going to give you a little demonstration now and see what you think.
Greaves again. Ball. Must be one here. Charlton. Yes, it is. Jack Charlton.
Here we have it, 424, the game that was sweeping the footballing world. Well, that claim may be a tad extravagant, but at the time of its launch, just after the '66 World Cup, it was certainly innovative. Created by ex-footballer and coach Tom Waterman, the game received some worthy testimonials and is worth us taking a look at. In this chapter from the 1967 edition of Kenneth Wilson Holmes' Book of World Football, we can see how these new-fangled team formations were causing a major stir in the footballing world. Gone was the traditional 2-3-5, long considered the norm in the UK. 4-2-4 and 4-3-3 were looked upon with unease by the establishment. Even England's World Cup win was criticised by some for the lack of wingers. So in 66-67, this game reflected the new and advanced style of football. So first, let's look at the players. Not too dissimilar to Sabu Cho, with the exception of the bases. The squared off front, ideal for passing. The wedge, providing the novelty of chipping. The keepers again look a little like Sabu Cho, are modelled in a diving pose, but have the added protection of a perspex surround to make scoring in the small plastic goals more difficult. The pitch, as you can see, is split into zones, mirroring the 4-2-4 layout. The game focuses on passing and strategy. Possession is maintained by ensuring passes enter a zone. Playing direct from defence to attack is not allowed. You have to play through the midfield. Possession can be lost by missing a zone with your pass, or the ball striking an opposing player, or more interestingly, when the ball lands on the line of a zone. In this instance, your opponent can call for a tackle if he chooses, and this brings the die into play. Your opponent rolls the die. 4 faces offer a T for successful tackle. There is a single F, this means a foul, and the blank allows the player in possession to continue. At each end of the pitch we have a shooting zone, and like Sabu Cho, goals can only be scored from within this zone. The skill of the game comes from creating imaginative passing movements, outwitting your opponent until scoring opportunities are created. The game allows for some pretty sexy looking moves. I like 4-2-4, but I appreciate it's not to everyone's taste. The rules take a little time to digest, and the 4-2-4 formation can make for a rigid game. Good clean copies of 4-2-4 can be picked up for £30 to £50 on auction sites and will be cheaper at car boot sales or charity shops. Later editions appeared primarily Grand Slam and Premier League, and if you're looking at one of these two, Premier League is a better quality version, but my advice is to aim for the red and blue original. The standard of finish is very high and very robust. In my personal view, this is a great tabletop football game and definitely worth trying.
De Cubba was there, but so is Souness there. Will he get a shot in? Now Dalglish! Across the face of the goal! It's there, Dalglish!
I quite like that.
Yeah,
I
very
reckon
enjoyable.
any game that allows you the ability to chip or put in a corner, it's got to be good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like your chess of football.
You know what? You're right, because it does take a little bit of thought, that game. Right, now, it is time for a regular feature, the match recreation. And today's match is from the 13th of May 2012 and was a last day of the season title battle between the two Manchester clubs. Manchester United were away at Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, whilst Manchester City, who were top of the table, were at home to lowly Queen's Park Rangers. So the situation was, if United could win their game and City tripped against Queen's Park Rangers, United would get to beat the noisy neighbours and win the title. But the likelihood of City losing at home
Wasn't going to happen.
not really, at least you would have thought. So we've recreated the goals for you just for a bit of light entertainment, and we get to hear one of the best commentaries from one of the best commentators in the country, Martin Tyler.
Yaya Toure, Zabaleta! It's in! The goal is given, and it's Zabaleta! Well, Lescott, it's a mistake, and Cisse's in and scores! It's another twist to the tail. Ahead of Taiwo. Mackey! Queen's Park Rangers lead here. Jamie Mackey has sent Manchester City towards heartbreak on the final day of the season. Himself, we're into 5 minutes. Well, if they win the title from here, I don't think it'll ever be topped. Another corner. Joe Hart has got as far as the centre circle this time. In goes Jacko! Well, hope rekindled here. It's finished at Sunderland. Manchester United have done all they can. That Rooney goal was enough for the 3 points. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.
Aguero!
Martin Tyler did it better.
Yeah, obviously.
Still, good for the lungs.
Yeah, it's very
a little
good.
bit of a shout.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that. Right, we'll be doing one of those each month. I have got no clue
No.
what game
No.
we're doing next month. Won't be West Ham.
Well, it won't be Villa.
Right. Throw in any suggestions you've got if you want to, but in the meantime, we'll have a little think about next week's. Maybe we'll do something older.
Older.
Yeah.
Like
that would be
us.
good. Yeah, like us. Right. So, we have reached the stage in the programme. The exciting stage.
Here we go.
Where we're going to do our interview. But before that happens, we are inviting, cajoling, coercing, forcing, bullying,
Threatening.
blackmailing our guests into having a go at our Sabu Cho challenge. Now, this takes place on a practice pitch, which Smithy is going to introduce you to in a minute. Have a watch of it, and if you reckon you'd like to have a go, then get in touch, because the prize is £100 to spend at Sabu Cho World, and you get a signed copy of our 2-part history of table football. Right, if you go and sort out the table,
Yeah.
I'll go fetch our guest.
I'll be off. Start the car.
This is our Sabu Cho training pitch, which was available in this skills trainer set. The aim of the challenge is to put our guests through 4 different tests. Now, the first one is going to be the slide test. So I shall move these objects out of the way, and then we're going to demonstrate how it's done. So for this task, the challenger has 2 choices. The first being he can start here, which is obviously nearer to the target circles, but for a bonus of 3 points, he can start here, which is obviously going to make it more difficult for him. The player has 3 goes. Each go counts as a score. So let's see how it should be done. Round 2, spinning. Once again, the challenger gets 2 options. The first one, where the ball is placed at 7 inches. And then the second option, we place the ball at 12 inches, which does make it more difficult, but he does get an extra 3 bonus points. If the player touches the peg, or the ball touches the peg, there's no score. If the ball travels, when hit, more than an inch, there's an extra 3 points in it. So, round 3, we're calling the putting round. It's quite straightforward. All you've got to do is get the ball down the hole. As with our other challenges, you get 2 options. Your first option is from here. And you'll get 5 points for each of the 3 shots you put down the hole. So option 2 is a tad trickier. So you have to take your shot from here. And you get 3 bonus points for every shot you get down the hole. It's easy. Final round, the chip. Place the ball anywhere in the shooting zone. If the ball goes straight into the net, 5 points. If it hits the wall and goes in, 3 points. So, at the end of the season, if there's a tie, we're going to have an exciting playoff. All you have to do, flick the ball into the target zone, and the player with the highest score wins. But you only have one go.
While Smithy gets our Sabu Cho training pitch ready, it gives me a chance to have a chat with our first guest on the series, Bernard O'Connor. Bernard, welcome.
Thanks, Keith.
So, we met each other during the making of our Table Football Years documentary. So I know a little bit about you. So I know that you collect and you play. So on the collection first, what is it you collect?
I collect predominantly the heavyweight teams. I have a few box sets, but mainly it's the heavyweights.
The reason Bernard is here and has very kindly joined us is because I specifically wanted to deal with one topic, and that is, for many of us coming back to the game in our more mature years, one of the issues that crops up, one of the thoughts we go through is, who are we going to play with? Way back in my day when I was a kid, clubs were littered everywhere. There's a lot fewer now, but they're still around. So, do you join a club? And if you do, what kind of blokes are they going to be? What level are they playing at? What kind of Sabu Cho type players are they using? And I thought, well, if we get somebody in who's faced that decision in recent times, we can get the lowdown on what we think. So, I didn't mean to cut you off then, but as you said, you started thinking if anybody else plays, you decided then, I guess, at that stage, I'm going to find a club.
Well, I went on Google and I put in Sabutio clubs, and one in Bristol came up on the search engine, which I dropped them an email. I dropped them an email via Facebook, so we're on Facebook. Then I spoke to the guy, a couple of correspondence and messages and things, and he said, well, what the best thing to do is just turn up. I'm fortunate, and I'm not one for bigging people up. That the guys in Bristol, which there's 22 people now, and a lot of them.
Wow.
There's 5 or 6 of them, and more coming this year who were exactly in my position. And they've now, obviously, with social media, people are looking on the different Facebook groups and Sabutio sites. So it's becoming more and more open for people to join a club. Plus, there's clubs all over the country, undoubtedly, that you'll talk about more on the blog. And people are genuinely friendly. It's definitely not turn up and, like you've explained a bit there, you know, we're very good and who's this bloke and all. Let's give him a thrashing.
I don't know what it is. There's that first senior school thing, you know, when you walk there and you're the only one wearing a cap.
That's it, yeah. But don't be shy. You could have tried.
But this particular season, how long have you belonged to this club?
That was second season just gone.
So your second season, you made it to a cup final.
I certainly did, in the traditional Sabutio retro version, yes.
Our first episode, and we have a cup finalist in the studio. Has the game been played?
It has, indeed.
You lost, didn't you?
Miraculously.
Did you win?
I won.
We've got a cup winner. Did you get a medal?
I got a cup, a trophy, yes. It was the FA Cup retro, Bristol Sabutio FA Cup retro competition. I managed to beat the Division 1 champion of this year.
Now, so you won the game.
I won into penalty.
Because this gets back
on a
down.
Yeah.
You won it on a penalty shootout?
Oh, I went to penalty shootout. Yeah, it went 1-1.
Not quite so impressed, but that's still okay.
1-1, went to a shootout.
No, too much information. We don't care.
It.
So, you've won the cup.
Yes.
So you're there at the table. I need to know this because I don't belong to a club.
Yes.
Somebody comes up to you, the ref or whoever it was, and he says, Bernard, the cup's yours.
Yes.
Did he hand it to you then?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
How big is it, like, on the table?
Yeah, about that.
Did you...
Give it all that?
Yeah.
To be honest, Keith, I was a bit taken aback.
Were you emotional?
I was, yeah. I was in shock and a bit emotional. Yeah.
So in your second season, you're the
Yeah.
current cup holder.
The retro FA Cup holder at Bristol Subu Club, yes.
See, this ain't any rubbish old show, you know. We've got cup winners on this show.
Giant
Okay,
quiz.
I'm impressed by that. We've hopefully got Bob Fairbrother coming next month,
Yes,
who runs Bristol
yes.
Club. But Bob's set up a National League, hasn't he?
He certainly has.
Have you joined that?
Yes.
2 years from moving into a new house
Yes.
to cup winner to being in the National League.
Yes.
Gonna have to watch this bloke. It could be a future world champion.
I don't know about that, Keith.
Right, well, this is the last and key question then. To anybody watching this who's at home, they've taken a set down from the loft, they've picked something up from a car boot sale, they're on their own and thinking, I kind of want to play,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't want to have to go through all the trouble of meeting people, and what if I don't like them? What if they're all in your face? Yeah, go. You've done it. You're in
Yeah.
your second year. You've obviously won a cup, so you would advocate.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That's quite an uplifting story, really.
Good.
Which is a good place to end this interview, but we're not finished with Bernard yet. Because thanks to a good deal of blackmail material I have on him, he has agreed to be the first to take on our Sabu Cho training pitch challenge. So, you ready to give that a go?
I certainly am, Keith.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, there's a prize of £100 to spend at Sabu Cho World and signed copies of our 2-part DVD. Got to be worth having, eh? 100 quid at
Definitely,
Sabu Cho World.
definitely.
Got to be done. Right, so Bernard, let's go do it. We'll see you in a minute. Bernard's ready, the first to try our training pitch. We don't allow base polishing, but we do allow a clean. Round 1, the slide. Straight in with the 3. He's taking the longer distance. Oh, half an inch. Oh, and a tumble. First round, 6 scored. Good start. Now we're doing the spin, again from the longer distance. Come on, Bernard, let's get a 5 on this first shot. Ooh, a bit wide. That's perfect. 8 scored for that. The ball travelled more than an inch. Oh, and no spin there. 11 on round 2. Now to the putting green. Oh, veered off course when it hit the base. And again, desperately unlucky. 0 there. Bad luck, Bernard. Onto the chip. Oh, the first one rushed a little bit. He's taking his time with his second one. Come on, Bernard. 3. Yes! 5 for that. Let's look at the replay. It didn't touch the wall. No. Good score. Final shot. Come on. Go. Didn't really leave the ground. 5 points for that round, giving Bernard a total of 22. Great first effort. Thanks, Bernard. Predictable. Totally predictable.
Look what I found.
Yeah, very funny. I know where the lever is. I'm not sitting down there for the rest of the programme. Sorry about that. We've got to grow up if we're going
Yes.
to keep this going. Right, so 22 scored.
Yeah, good score.
Beatable though?
Oh, beatable, yeah. Not by us.
No, not a chance.
And fair play to him being the first one on the training table.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was the first one to go. So as we mentioned, if you think you could beat that score of 22, then do get in touch. You'll be made very welcome. You'll get a bit of training time. You get a slice of cake. You get a coffee.
Lovely. Bit of tea if you want.
Bit of tea if you want. Hey, bit of peppermint tea if you
More
want. We've got that
flavours,
as
yeah,
well.
we've got
We've
flavours.
got that as well. And if after our 10-month run, you are the person at the top of the table, you get £100 to spend at Sabu Cho World and Kazawi. I don't know what Kazawi is.
Kazawi,
Yeah.
but
you get them.
yeah.
Yeah, and we'll sign
Signed.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want us to, in which
Yeah.
case you can just have them and say, we don't care.
And when I've learnt to write.
Yeah, right. We have, unfortunately, run headlong into a bit of a dilemma. This is the point in the programme where we review a new product. Only today we're going to be a bit crafty.
Yes.
Because technically speaking, the product isn't new. They are Sabu Cho floodlights. But the reason they've made it into this segment is they have been uprated by a gentleman called David Hunter. And we're going to give them a bit of a test. The problem is, and you can't see it, but above us in the roof of our studio, there are 6 skylights, which means the daylight shines through. So one of us is going to have to stay behind tonight, wait till the sun goes down, and do the test when it's dark?
Yes.
Looks like it's going to be me then. Nobby no mates, sat in the dark. Right, better turn the light on. That's better. Right, well here I am, sat in the studio at 11:15 at night on my lonesome. But there is a benefit, and that is that it is pitch black outside, and that enables me to test these two traditional looking floodlights. Now this one is completely original. Those of you old enough to remember will recall it carried two chunky Everready SP2 batteries in the base. Whilst this one has been updated by a chap called David Hunter. You'll see in the base, this one houses 3 AA batteries, and we have 4.5 volts running at maximum without overloading the circuit, which will evidently give us a greater brightness. We also have a rather cute toggle switch here at the bottom. So the only thing we can do is turn the lights back off, and we'll switch them both on and see if there is a difference. I don't know about you, but I actually feel a little bit excited. I'm going to turn on the original floodlight first using the Sabu Cho mains adapter. Here we go. There we go. Well, that rather gloomy light looks familiar. And now, by comparison, I'm going to hit the toggle switch on David Hunter's adapted floodlight. And let's see. Here we go. Wow. Well, self-explanatory, I think. That does look like a big difference. Why don't we take a look at them on the pitch? An improvement on the originals, and certainly enough light in which to play. Smithy and I enjoy making our lives difficult by filling our pitch around with obstacles. For many, this would be too much clutter. But if your preference is for recreating footy on a tabletop, then uprated Sabu Cho floodlights can do the job. Nice one, Dave. Well, that just about wraps it up for our first edition of Table Football Monthly. And thank you very much for watching.
Yes, and a big thank you to our special guest Bernard O'Connor.
Bernard.
Also for his effort on the Sabu Cho training pitch.
Ace. Next month, our special guest is going to be Bob Fairbrother, and that is an interview that promises to be well worth listening to. Our blast from the past will be me and the Smith here banging around and demonstrating old magnetic table football games. So there'll be that and oodles more. Oodles. Always oodles. So from Danielle, from the Smith and from me, we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.